find coding useful for me personally, but I don't dwell on all the information too much. There's a lot to take on. If you look at it and you get the information given to you, there's a lot to digest if you want to go deep into it. I think what it does for me personally, there'll be trends. So we code each bowl and what's happening. It'll spit out numbers, but you'll pick up trends. Maybe it's a forehand runner, you've missed 3 or 4 out of 5. So, but you'll know that after your game, after you finish playing, you'll sort of know that, oh, I wasn't so good here or I wasn't so good here. But you'll pick up, there'll be little bits in there. It'll tell you what length you played, how many you played on the forehand, how many you played on the backhand, how successful you were to having effective bowls. And I think that's the key, is the effective. You don't need to get everything. As long as it's effective, it's in the game. But it might be you've won a certain amount of long ends and not so many short ends, or vice versa. So it's just picking out the little bits that I want to, and I think it's a personal thing of what I want to pull out. Obviously, if you can get that information straight away as the game finishes, is great. But sometimes that's the same again. That's different for each individual. Generally, we'll have it at the end of the day, and we can discuss it in a debrief. But it's a personal thing. It'll be different right across the board for everyone. But for me, I like certain parts of it.
Yeah, look, I think Shannon's covered it really well, because at the end of the day, it's not solely a tool to examine players. It's actually a really, really good tool to establish the areas that we're doing well. And then, as Shannon's mentioned, maybe there's an aspect of my game that I haven't performed, but that should be taken in the context of a series of games. So yes, you want some immediate feedback, but if you play, say, 9 games or 10 games in a Trans-Tasman, it's just having a look at the trends and were there any consistent misses or learnings that I can take away from that information. Because quite often we think we played well, and then we'll reflect with the help of the coding and understand, yeah, generally we were okay, but for a lead, for example, do you realise that 50% of your second bowls were short? And quite often as a lead, you'll forget about that because it's the bad stuff. You don't want to remember that stuff. So then that's a focus, and that's a training tool for the coaching. It's a coaching tool to help the player eliminate or remove that 50%.